Hello YouTube, it's Admiral Kraken, and today I'm going to be showing you how I modded my Skyrim. It's pretty standard, but I just thought I'd make this video. It's for my friend to show him basically how I did it, and this is going to be a really quick video, so I'm not going to go too in depth. It's really just to get you up and running and started and playing Skyrim and having fun and putting mods into your game. But I suggest that if you want to really know more and have a really good detailed explanation, that you watch the Beginner's Guide to Modding Skyrim series by Gopher, because he goes into an awesome amount of detail and he will explain to you so much more than I will in his video series. The only thing is that if you notice, his videos are pretty long here. And not everyone has that kind of time, so I'm making this abridged, shortened down version to basically help you get up and running. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so there's going to really be a few programs that you need, not really too many programs and files. So the very first one and the main program that you're going to use for pretty much your whole modding experience is going to be the Nexus Mod Manager. Now what this program does is it allows you to insert the mod files into your game, and it kind of really does all of the work for you. In addition to this being a program, it's also somewhat of a service. The Nexus Mod website actually has a lot of different mods on it and resources that you can use to learn about modding. So if you go to this website, I'll provide links to all of these in the description, so check that out. But you can actually look for popular mods that are being used by the modding community, like Frostfall or SkyUI, which is actually one that we will be installing in a little bit. The next one is going to be the Skyrim script extender, and what this does is it puts some files in your actual game, and it allows you to fully utilize the mods that you're going to be putting into your game, and it helps basically make your experience a lot more fun. And pretty much the last program that you're going to need is Loot. And what this does is it organizes your mods, because when you put them into the game actually loads in sequential order certain files, and if when you start putting in mods, sometimes they require certain other mods to be installed, or they have to be before other mods or after other mods. So this basically takes a lot of the guesswork of having to manually do all that, and it will automate the process for you and make your life a whole lot easier. So first we'll start off with the Nexus Mod Manager. So when you go to the Nexus Mod Manager webpage, you can see you can download it. Just go ahead and click download, and it'll prepare your file, and it'll do all this stuff, and it'll start downloading it. It's pretty straightforward. You install it pretty much like any other program. Now you will need to register with Nexus Mods and have an account to be able to use their service. It's really simple. They don't spam you with anything, and you have options to be able to do that. So once you have your mod manager installed, like I do here, you won't actually have any of these options here, because these are all mods that I've installed. It'll be pretty blank. Actually, I think it won't have anything in it. So just a quick explanation of this. These buttons here, so add mod from a file, what you can do is if you have files, like you downloaded it, you can actually put it into the mod manager, and then the mod manager itself will put it into the game. And we'll actually be using this for the SKSE. You can also deactivate mods. So for example, if I didn't want a quality world map mod, I could click this button and it deactivates the mod, and it's no longer active in my game. Now the mod is actually still on the computer, but it's just not being run. But if you don't want that mod at all, you can actually delete the mod and it won't be in your game. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that, and that's what it looks like. Now with certain mods, sometimes you will have little menus like this, and it'll give you options for installing certain things, but not all mods will have this. And the main reason why we're going to be installing SKSE is so that we can actually tweak these mods and be able to mess around with them. So this is the mod manager. You also, if you want to use the service, you click this little button here. It'll be red, or it'll say not logged in. You can click that and it will log you in. One of the advantages to using this program is that you can use the Nexus Mods service. So if you go, this is a quality world map. So if you want to actually get this mod, instead of just downloading the files, you can actually go to the web page, or when you search for it, you can go to Files, and you'll see here it says Download with Manager or Download manually. Now this is nice because it gives you two options. One, you can start downloading it with the manager, with the actual program, and it'll save it to wherever the file location is, or you can download it manually and it'll download it I think as a zip, and then you can upload it into your manager really easily that way. So using this mod manager is really nice and clean and helpful, and so yeah, now we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so now I'll show you how to actually start and set up SkyUI. So this will be an example of what you can do whenever you have your Nexus Mod Manager installed and you want to install a mod. So for this particular demonstration, we're going to use SkyUI. So when you go to the web page, you'll see a few little tabs here: description, articles, files. We're going to go to files. We're going to get SkyUI. We're actually going to use the manager, and if we notice, see, this is one thing you have to be careful of when you're trying to get certain mods, is that this needs the Skyrim script extender, which we will install in a little bit, or depending on how I've edited this video, we've already installed. And so you're just going to click continue with my download, and if you set up the mod manager right, you won't have to do anything. And if you go to the program and your Nexus Mod Manager, you can click this little tab, and you'll notice that SkyUI is now downloading. And so I'm going to wait for it to download. It's a really small file, so it won't take very long at all. And so now we see that it's completed. And if we go into our mod list here, we go to SkyUI, and then we're going to click activate, or you can double click it, or click this little button here, activates the selected mod, and then boom, there you go. The mod is successfully added, and it is now part of our mod list. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is the Skyrim script extender. So once you click on the link and go to the web page, you'll see installer and 7z archive. So we're going to download the 7z archive because what that will allow us to do is extract the files and select which files go where, and we'll also be able to use the Nexus Mod Manager. So once you download the 7z archive, you will see the 7-zip file, the archive. So go ahead and extract that, and if you don't have 7-zip, I'll also provide a link to that in the description. It's pretty straightforward. It's kind of like WinRAR. I personally like it because it works with just about everything. It's really nice. So when you click on the extracted folder, SKSE, and you go into the next folder, you'll see these two folders and all these SKSE files. So what we're going to do to get SKSE working is we're going to select all of these files, these individual files here, and we're going to copy them. And what we're going to do is we're going to place them in our installation of Skyrim. If you have Steam, and you didn't change where the directory of your games are, I'll show you how to get there. So you go to local disk, you're going to then go to program files x86, You'll scroll all the way down to the S, because that's what Steam is, S. And then you'll go to Steam Apps, Common, and then this will be a list of your games. I don't have Skyrim on this hard drive. I have it on a separate hard drive. So if you have yours on a different installation, let's say you have it on another hard drive, then you'll go to that hard drive. Okay, I have mine here. Alright, so then I have Skyrim right here. But it's pretty much the same thing. If it's on a different hard drive, like mine, it's on G. You'll go to G, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, and then you'll see Skyrim. So when you get to this folder, you won't have all of these SKSE files, but you will see. You'll know you're in the right spot if you see TES. It may or may not say EXE. I set my computer up so I can see the extensions of files, but you'll see TESV and Skyrim Launcher, and that's how you know you're in the right place. So when we're in this place here, we'll go ahead and click paste. If it's the first time you're doing this, you won't see this, so you'll just copy it and it'll go through. Since I have this, since I already have these files, it'll say copy and replace. But so you're going to paste these files here, and you're pretty much done with that. So the next thing is these two folders here. Now SRC, you don't really need to do that to look at that too much, but this data folder here, this is what we're actually going to load into our mod manager. So we're going to add to archive, and we're going to change the name to SKSE script. So you're going to click OK, and then you're going to see an SKSE script 7z file. Now with this file, we're going to put that into our mod manager. So we're going to click this first little icon here with the puzzle piece and the plus on it, and then you're going to go to where you have that folder. So if you go to it, you click on this on your little 7-zip folder, and it will actually add that into your mod manager. Now the nice thing about this mod manager again is you don't have to copy and paste and do any of that stuff, because the mod manager will actually do that on its own. So once you've loaded it up into the manager, you're going to see it has a little X on it. That means that it's not actually being used. So what you can do is double click, or you can click activate the selected mod. Now since I already have this mod, it's prompting me that I already have all this stuff and I have to override it. But if it's your first time, you won't see that, so you won't have to worry about all that. I'll just say yes to all, and it'll install the mod again. So with that, SKSE is done. Now, one thing I should note about this is that when you install the SKSE into your Skyrim, you won't actually be able to use the icon that came when you installed Skyrim, the desktop icon. You're going to actually have to use the SKSE loader icon whenever you want to start the game, because if you don't, you're just going to load the regular Skyrim, and you're going to kind of wonder why you don't have the SKSE installed. So if you go back to the place where you pasted all of those SKE files, you're going to see a file called SKSE loader. It may or may not say exe, but it will say application as the type. So if you right click that and you click send to desktop create shortcut, you will have created a shortcut like so. So with this you can rename it. So for example, I like SKSE, so I know what that is. And if you don't like the icon because it looks pretty ugly, you can go to shortcut, and let's see, you can actually change the icon. Alright, with shortcut you can go to change icon, it'll say that there's no icons available in the folder. So you can go to Browse, and you can actually go to where your Steam is installed. So program x86. Then you can go to Steam. And you can go to Steam Apps again. Or let's see. No, I think maybe it's actually Steam. There we go. Games. And then you can look at all of the files you have. So if you want, you can click the Skyrim, click OK, click Apply, click OK. And there you go. Whenever you click this, it will load Skyrim. It'll still start up Steam and everything, and it'll still fully function with Steam. The only difference is that it will load with the SKSE running. Alright, so now we got SKSE running, and we've got the Nexus Mod Manager going. Now all we need to do is get loot. And it's pretty straightforward. When you go to the web page, you just click download loot, and then it'll start downloading. Now when you download loot, you can download it either as the installer or the 7-zip archive. I'd just do the installer because you don't really have to mess with it too much. It'll pretty much do all the work on its own. Now, personally, I would install loot close to where your Steam or to where your game actually is, or in your Steam library. So if you have it in your other hard drive or you have it on C, you go to close to where your games are, or I put it actually in the file above. That way it knows where to look. It looks like in the folders of wherever it is that your games are, for example in common. So it can look through all of these games, and it can detect whether or not or what it's supposed to be sorting. So when you start up loot for the first time, it'll actually ask you to it'll search your system for what games that you have, and you can actually switch through different games to be able to optimize them. So with this, we're going to click Skyrim, and we're going to go to Sort Plugins, and then it's going to go through all of your mods, and it's going to sort them all out and make sure that they all work nice and well together. So since you probably don't have a whole lot of mods, it will just say Skyrim update. If you have expansion packs, you'll see Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn installed. So you click apply, and it'll give you this nice little report. You really don't have to worry about that too much, but you can just click that and you can exit that. And when you go back to your mod manager, or let's say you restart your mod manager, to see the effects of these changes, you will go into your Nexus Mod Manager and you go to plugins, and it will automatically arrange all these by themselves. Now you can actually move your mod order up and down manually through the Nexus Mod Manager, but I would suggest the loot program because if you're a beginner modder, you probably don't really know what you're doing. So this will get you pretty much all set up, and you won't have to worry too much about what you're doing. Now, now that I've kind of gone through all this, I'm going to show you in-game kind of what everything looks like, and kind of show you that you've done everything right. Okay, so now I'm in Skyrim. I've actually got the game loaded up. So let's check to see if we have SKSE running. Now, the way you do this, when you actually load up your game, you can click the tilde key, or if you don't know what that is, if you look up sort of near the top of your keyboard, you have your numbers. You have 1 through 0, or 1 through 9 and 0. Now all the way to the left, next to the 1 key, you'll see a little squiggly line, and then a little like kind of shorter line. So you press the tilde key, and then it'll bring up this console manager. Now if you use this, all you have to type is get SKSE version. Now it doesn't really matter if you've capitalized or anything like that. The console won't really recognize that. So when you click enter, you'll see our command went through. We have SKSE version 1.6.16, and that's the release and the runtime. So that's how you know that the SKSE is running. Now if I go to continue, I actually think I was in a battle here, so we'll see about that. But whenever you click on your game, if you use your load file, you can or when you first load up your game, you're gonna notice you press tab and you go into items, and whoa, holy crap, you know, your thing is all crazy. But we're not gonna worry about that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press we're gonna go into our settings, and we're gonna notice that we have this new tab, or this new little menu option called Mod Configuration. Now when you click that, that will allow you to change all of your mods. So here we have SkyUI. If you install that, then it'll show you all of the different options that you have. You can make your font smaller, or whatever other options that you want. So having this mod configuration menu option is very, 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 very helpful, and you will use it a lot in your modding journey.